Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Intrepid. My name is Captain Katarn, and this is a recap of Star Wars Season 1.5 Imperial Assault. This is all the cinematics. You can kind of see where the channel's gone, my evolution as a content creator, and where we're going to be going in the future. I have some amazing plans for Season 3, Star Wars Rebels, that we're going to be doing here, starting very shortly. We'll have another preview video of that season coming out probably next week, so go ahead and sit back, get some popcorn. This is almost the length of a full feature film, and I do hope that you guys really enjoy this. I can't wait to go new places with you. Thank you so much.
In the beginning, we were a republic, stagnant, corrupt, rotting from within. After millennia of inaction, the Senate was dissolved and we resorted to total war for control of the planet. We nearly destroyed ourselves until they came, crash landing like gods fallen from the heavens. The Sith were unlike anything we'd seen before, capable of moving objects with their mind and shooting lightning from their fingertips. They called their abilities the Force, and it was a power beyond imagination. Their descendants were to be the new ruling class of our society, the Darths. They created an empire forged from their passion, and for a short time, humanity prospered under their rule. But the Sith lust for power is eternal, and they turned on each other, plunging the planet into chaos and civil war once again, until Darth Bane and his apprentice conquered all of the remaining Sith and instituted the Rule of Two. They began purging the planet of all Force sensitives that were not under their direct control. In a desperate attempt to hide children born with Force sensitivity, a resistance movement began in the underground. The children that survived and matured called themselves the Jedi and swore to oppose the Sith. Equally strong with the Force, the Jedi were a threat to the Sith Lords, but their peace-loving ideology kept them from open war, and instead they looked for an escape from the fight. Our species was stuck on the planet. We had not the hyperdrives. For hundreds of years, scientists worked on a prototype hyperdrive for the Empire. After the first successful test, the Jedi formulated a plan. An attack on the Imperial Research Facility to steal the prototype and destroy all evidence of the project. The attack took the Imperials off guard. Loss of the facility, the scientists, and all personnel set back Imperial technology for decades. Escaping with the hyperdrive, the Jedi and their underground resistance took to the stars to escape the oppression of the Sith. Now, 300 years later, we have finally replicated the technology for hyperspace travel, and our empire is on the precipice of becoming a galactic presence. On the day of the test, Darth Sidious calls his apprentice, Darth Vader, to his chamber to oversee the launch of the craft.
Lord Vader, I have been expecting you. So it's treason then.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Now united under Lord Vader, the Empire is set to bring Imperial peace to the galaxy. They will join us, or die.
All ships, this is Admiral Katarn. Prepare to make the jump to light speed.
This is the Imperial HoloNet News. With the Imperial expansion plans currently underway, our glorious leader, Lord Vader, prefers to lead from the front lines of the battle. As such, he reconstituted the Imperial Senate to deal with the day-to-day bureaucracy. We are looking for loyal Imperial citizens like yourself to be senators and decide the fate of our great empire. Please vote in the comments to claim your seat in the Senate. We will have votes weekly to determine the current courses of action. After voting for 2 consecutive weeks, and then remaining active on the channel, you will be able to recommend yourself for a command position within the Imperial government. Positions include MOFs, governors of the local sectors that are responsible for planetary affairs and oversight. Their duties include enforcing Imperial law, as well as development of the planet itself. MOFs that excel in their roles will be eligible to be promoted to Grand Moff and roll over a number of star systems with their local MOFs. Imperial Research Scientists. Scientists on the cutting edge of our territory and scientific progress. They command research science vessels and explore the galaxy studying unknown phenomena. Scientists that excel in the field are eligible to be promoted to Imperial Research Director. These directors oversee the Empire's research projects and facilities. Imperial Navy Captains. Captains of Imperial warships. The Imperial Navy relies on steady commanders to carry out Lord Vader's will in battle. Their responsibilities include both the defense of the Empire as well as subjugation campaigns to bring Imperial peace to the galaxy. Captains that demonstrate a tactical superiority in battle are eligible to be promoted to Admiral of the Imperial Fleet. Further, Admirals are subject to promotion to Grand Admiral at sole discretion of Lord Vader. Death Trooper Commanders. Elite Stormtrooper regiments. The Death Troopers are led by a commander that has no equal in ground combat. Upon proving themselves in battle, commanders are eligible for the promotion to General. Generals responsible for planning and executing ground assaults and planetary defensive actions at the whim of Lord Vader. The Empire needs you to fill these critical positions. We stand on the precipice of galactic conquest. Join the Empire. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. The Empire has taken our first steps into the unknown. Led by the mighty Imperial Navy, we have begun to catalog and explore the local systems. To date, scout ships have reported 2 habitable systems on the edge of our space. These systems have been targeted by Lord Vader for immediate colonization and expansion. Citizens that have been assigned to colonize these worlds, please report to the local Imperial garrison for processing. Failure to report will result in detention and scheduled termination. In other news, Imperial Research Director Jobin is confident we are on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough in medical droid technology. She believes that if successful, life expectancy will be increased by creating mobile unmanned medical facilities that would rival our best hospitals on Imperial Center. The Imperial Army is closely watching this development and for long-term potential for dealing with injuries on the front lines. In the Senate, diplomatic channels have been officially opened with a number of nearby inhabited star systems. Lord Vader is currently occupied leading our forces in a fleet buildup in anticipation of a campaign against pirates in the Lancashire system. As such, he decrees that the Senate shall debate and vote on the proposal from the representatives of the parental system about joining into an alliance with their allied worlds. Lord Vader is confident that the might of the Empire will prevail, regardless of the outcome of the vote, therefore it is unworthy of his time.
The chair recognizes Senator Malentor.
No, we cannot risk placing trust in the Sun-Green Compact. Order must be preserved through superior Imperial firepower.
Powerful figures joining Senator Melentor in opposing the treaty are Senator Hodgkins, Senator Silverstone, Senator Kyushu, Senator Gibbs, and Senator Dobroznyuk.
Thank you, Senator Melentor. The chair recognizes Senator Cisco Sistar.
Although I suggest caution when dealing with the compact, I vote yes on the deal, for it will be more beneficial to have an ally further away with room to grow themselves than a neighbor who might strangle our own expansion just because they set foot on a key hyperlane crossroads first.
Notable names joining Senator Cisco Sistar in supporting the treaty are Senator Blaga, Senator Sailor Marsfat, Senator Strauss, Senator Tim D, and Senator Jazz. After weeks of intense debate, the Senate has voted to reject the offer from the Brental Delegation Ambassador. The entire Brental Delegation is been placed under arrest for sedition and treason. They are scheduled to be terminated via the public Rancor pit in Imperial City. Good seats are still available. The Imperial Academy is now accepting new applications for command positions within the Empire. Active senators have been given preferred status to appoint new recruits to the Imperial Academy. Please submit the name and service division of your recruits, along with your weekly vote in the comments below. The Empire needs you to combat the alien threat that lurks outside our borders. Join the Empire today. It's your duty.
This is the Imperial HoloNet News. After intense preparation, our great empire has claimed its first foothold outside of Imperial Center. The elite 501st Stormtrooper Regiment, led by Commander Nick Niman, has secured Cato Nemoidia, and Imperial colonization efforts are currently underway. Upon exploring the newly discovered world, Imperial scientists have found remnants of a powerful alien civilization. Amazingly, many of the ancient structures are still functional, allowing our expansionary forces a foothold for continued galactic conquest. In other news, the Imperial Navy is still recovering from the disastrous Rasteris incident. Task Force Bastion has not made contact after being ordered into the unsurveyed Rasteris system and is presumed lost. Admiral Ozzel has been called by Lord Vader to personally answer for the loss of the task force. Surprisingly, Admiral Ozzel remains in command of the Imperial Navy, although he has been warned not to fail Lord Vader again. Meanwhile, the Imperial Senate has been reviewing a trade proposal with both the Chandrillan and Alaskan systems. The proposal includes a technology exchange agreement that would significantly boost Imperial research efforts. Vocal opponents in the Senate feel that sharing of Imperial technology with alien species is both dangerous and an act of treason. A majority was formed, led by Senator Kaishu and Jazz, to accept the deal due to the losses in the Rasteris system and the need to rebuild the Imperial fleet with the latest advances in technology. Following the successful development of the Imperial medical droids, Imperial Research Director Jobin will personally oversee the exchange of information with these alien worlds. It has been whispered that Director Jobin may have her sights on far loftier goals within the Empire. We shall watch her career with great interest. Now, more than ever, the Empire needs citizens like yourself to take to the front lines and bring Imperial peace to the galaxy. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. After administering a technology exchange with alien systems, Director Jobin has gone missing and is assumed to be a defector to the Chandrillan system. Imperial intelligence is currently assessing the damage that former Director Jobin may have caused before her defection, and all Imperial plans that were approved by her office are under review. She is to be considered a traitor, and a termination order has been issued by Lord Vader. In light of this news, the Imperial Science Ministry has promoted 2 new directors. Antonio Donaldson and Alan Silverstone have been promoted to Imperial Research Directors. Both have been extremely loyal to the Imperial cause and have Lord Vader's full confidence. A thorough review of all positions is currently underway. Imperial Fleet Command has announced the completion of a new deep space system that has expanded the Empire's reach and political might. Imperial broadcasts can now be heard on several systems surrounding our space. Subverting other systems to our will is yet another tool for the Imperial war machine. Additional stations have been planned in the coming months. Stay tuned for more. Sensing a great disturbance in the Force, Lord Vader has ended the debate in the Senate on the issue of joining the Sand-Green Compound and has sent a secret delegation to negotiate the entry into the Pact. Ensuring the safety of the Empire today is the immediate goal. Total victory is a long process, and this is just one step on that journey. In the Imperial Senate, debate is focused on the Neimoidian Confederacy and Viceroy Newt Gunray's proposal of a non-aggression pact with the Empire. Recently appointed Senator Jonathan Stewart had this to say.
A non-aggression pact may benefit us in the short term, giving our enemies a false sense of security while allowing us to build our forces for an assault campaign.
Additionally, powerful and influential Senators Kaishu and Dobrunik joined him in supporting the pact. After intense debate and a narrow vote, the Empire will have a non-aggression treaty with Viceroy Gunray. For how long remains to be seen. Currently, the Imperial government is looking to expand our fleet and ground forces. There are openings that will be available in command roles in the coming months and years. Senators are encouraged to put forth a candidate for consideration. 1 candidate per senator, please. Senators with existing command characters will not be eligible again until the death of their existing character. Join the Empire today. It's your duty.
This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Open rebellion has broken out in the Empire. Dissidents have attacked our Imperial Tactical Research Facility on Imperial Center. The facility was the home to the Imperial Database and Research Repository containing the sole records of our most sensitive projects. Among them, our main core world invasion simulation that has been actively running. The facility is a total loss along with all the data. The traitors have been contained and dealt with. Lord Vader has seen to their termination personally. Dissidents will not be tolerated in the Empire. At this time, the Imperial intelligence believes it to be an isolated event. However, all citizens are urged to be vigilant and report any suspicious activity. Steps have been taken to ensure Imperial data security going forward. Lord Vader has determined that we have gleaned enough knowledge from the previous simulations in order to begin our campaign for galactic conquest. Today, from Imperial Center, we prepare the Imperial fleet. We are stronger than ever to face the upcoming challenges. As we prepare to bring Imperial peace to the galaxy, the Imperial Senate needs you. Vote weekly in the Commons to become a Senator of the Empire. After 2 consecutive weeks of voting and continued activity, you will be able to create a command character within the Empire. Command positions include Moffs, Scientists, Imperial Army Generals, and Imperial Starship Captains. You may specify only 1 character name and the command division requested. If you choose to be a Starship Captain, you may include your ship name and will be considered by the Admiralty. Recruits will not be able to choose their direct posting, but are promoted based on experience in their ranks. This means that you cannot choose to be a Star Destroyer Captain when you submit your character, but you may be promoted to command a Star Destroyer if you prove yourself in battle. The Empire is based on the survival of the fittest. Join the Empire today, or else. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Based on our previous simulations, The Empire has begun a campaign of aggressive expansion to secure the resources necessary to fuel Imperial victory. The constant need for resources have driven Senator Gyushu and Senator Ercole to push for a mining guild to be created. These raw resources mined today can be turned into the Star Destroyers of tomorrow. Lord Vader has approved this initiative and started a new 5-year plan with resource targets. The plan calls for the Empire to increase its mineral productivity by a factor of 10 within the next decade. A shortage of miners has prompted the debate on using droids in remote facilities. Imperial High Command is reviewing the proposal at this time. No decision has been announced. In the Imperial Senate, debate has reached a fever pitch over the adoption of a new Imperial Edict. Senators are faced with the choice to fund a specific project that can direct the course of the Empire for decades. The magnitude of such a decision has led to 2 vocal groups sparring for the votes on the Senate floor. Senators Kyushu, Hudson, and Ercole, among others, have led the charge to focus on the mastery of nature so that their forces can quickly clear obstacles on newly colonized worlds. This technology would be beneficial to the growth and expansion efforts. Senator Ross, along with Senator Silverstone, Senator Baggins, and others have passionately defended their funding of general sciences, which would speed Imperial research output significantly. They argue that progress in all disciplines will trump the progress in only expansion and growth. The debate was fierce and at times heated. In the end, the Senate voted for technological ascendancy and the funding of general science initiatives. With this added funding, it is estimated that the Imperial science output will be increased by 10%. As a result of the Senate vote, a recent colony on planet Scarif will be the home to the Imperial garrison focused on research and development. Scientists are encouraged to request posting on Scarif immediately. The war effort relies on these technological advancements to subjugate our foes. Join the Empire today. It's your duty.
This is the Imperial HoloNet News. We've been approached by the Galactic Republic to affiliate with their coalition in an associated status. After careful consideration, Lord Vader has decided to accept this offer, for now. Short term, the deal gives the Empire stability against the growing threat of the Hutt clans on our southern border. Long term, we will be able to break the treaty when we are in a position of strength. Additionally, the Empire has negotiated to keep its own sovereign territory and resource production. Additionally, we may declare war on any non-allied species, allowing us to continue to bring Imperial peace to the galaxy. The Imperial Diplomatic Corps are to be commended for the outcome of the negotiations. Lord Vader plans to personally honor them in Imperial Center shortly. The Empire has been successful in hitting Lord Vader's targeted mining and resource quotas and is poised for future successes. The use of automated mining outposts has brought the Imperial mining effort to 74,000 tons of ore mined in a galactic standard month. Most impressive. To date, engineers and miners have answered the call of their empire. However, we cannot rest. We must continue to push and expand the Imperial production facilities to ensure that we have the means to expand and control the galaxy. In the Imperial Senate, senators are hardly able to contain their excitement about the additional resources at their fingertips and the upcoming Imperial budget. Senator Ross has submitted a request to earmark these additional funds for retrofitting and expanding the Imperial fleet. Although an alternative request to fund colonization attempts on exoplanets was also discussed, the Senate was nearly united in the expansion of the Imperial fleet and the projection of the power of the Empire on a galactic stage. Our enemies will fear us, our allies will as well. This military buildup means the Empire needs you, citizens, to join the Imperial forces to ensure a safe and secure tomorrow. Join the Empire today. It's your duty.
This is the Imperial HoloNet News. The Empire is preparing for war. Recently, Lord Vader formally requested the Senate for approval to declare war on the Chil-Actan adepts within our borders. The Senate was nearly unanimous in affirming the Empire's plan to crush the Chil-Actans and open the major trade route that had been blocked to our western expanse. With this new directive, the Imperial Navy has been busy running drills and formulating battle plans for our invasion of Chil-Acta. Admiral Katarn has allowed the footage from our Viper probe droid and the Chil-Acta system to be released to the public. Comstat indicates that there are 3 inhabited planets in the Chil-Actan system. Admiral Katarn estimates the Chil-Actans have roughly half the military power of our own fleet. Their defenses include a small fleet and 2 orbital stations. Additionally, there are 3 major population centers in the system that must be captured for the invasion to succeed. With these challenges identified, Admiral Katarn has initiated the Mount Tantus project. Although he would not elaborate at this time, he strongly believes it is the key to our victory. In other news, the Cybisti shipyards above Imperial Center have completed the first of the next generation of Imperial starships, the Victory-class Star Destroyer. The Victory-class represents a major leap in Imperial power and technological advancement. This new Star Destroyer is designed to lead Imperial forces in the planetary bombardment and siege, as well as serve as a fleet command vessel with considerable firepower. The impending war will test our fleets and personnel to the limits. The Empire needs you for command positions to bring Imperial peace to the savages. Citizens, join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Rebellion. In wake of our victory over the Chil-Actan, there are reports of rebellion breaking out across our newly conquered planets. To deal with this threat, Lord Vader has sent new governors to each of the systems, as well as deployed stormtroopers to enforce order on the newly conquered subjects. In the Senate, debate has been focused on the issue of the Chil-Actan people and how to deal with them in the Empire. Multiple options have been considered, but in the end only 2 have gained real support: slavery or full citizen status. As fellow humans, the Chil-Actans may yet become a loyal populace to the Empire. In the end, the vote was close, and full citizen status was granted. Lord Vader is amused by this development. However, should their new status not quell the rebellion, more drastic action may yet be needed. In the aftermath of the losses from the Battle of Chil-Acta, senators have been calling for a full review of the actions taken by Admiral Katarn. The initial siege of the system was to be a 2-part operation. The fleet would take the planet Lune, regroup, repair, and then make a push for Chil-Acta. During his subsequent court-martial, it was determined that Captain Andre Blaga of the corvette Warlord acted without orders and engaged the defenses in the Chil-Actan system. This forced Admiral Katarn into the conflict before the fleet was prepared. After the loss of several ships, Admiral Katarn ordered a full retreat, likely saving the Imperial fleet. Based on these actions, Admiral Katarn has been cleared of all wrongdoing in the battle. An arrest order has been issued for Captain Andre Blaga, who is to be considered a traitor to the Empire. He has escaped capture and both he and his corvette have vanished from Imperial space. Lord Vader has dispatched an Inquisitor to remedy the situation. He will not remain hidden for long. Citizens, your Empire needs you. The war has provided opportunities for new command positions. Vote in the comments to become a senator of your great empire, and you will have the ability to send a recruit of your choice to the Imperial Academy. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Treason. Citizens, there are traitors in our midst. Some work from the shadows, spreading lies and mistrust. Others are in the open, daring to slander our Lord Vader at every opportunity. This will not be allowed to continue. Citizens, please be vigilant. Report all suspicious activities to your local Imperial garrison. Failure to act is considered sympathizing with the rebels and will be equally punished. Sensing the growing threat to the Imperial peace, Lord Vader has constituted the Imperial Security Bureau to be charged with matters of state security and ensuring the loyalty of citizens to the Empire. Additionally, they will investigate all high-ranking leaders to confirm they remain on the correct path. Currently, ISB agents are investigating senators and moffs for evidence of corruption and treason. The traitors in our midst will not remain hidden for long. The ISB expects to make their first arrest before the end of the week. Perhaps in direct response to Lord Vader's decree, the Senate has shown their loyalty by voting to adopt the One Vision governing ethic. This perk will give the Empire a 30% attraction to the current government, as well as a unity bonus output of 10%. Senator Omega was publicly leading the push for One Vision and was quoted as saying,
One Vision governing ethics would be the proper choice. Not only would this strengthen the ties our natural citizens have with each other, it would also aid in the integration of the Chil-Acta peoples into our great nation's embrace. While expansion of our borders would be a noble goal indeed, if we expand too quickly and incorporate too many natives, we risk the entire apparatus of the state collapsing due to public strife and unrest.
Senator Omega's loyalty and forward vision is an excellent example for all citizens to follow. In other news, the Imperial Ministry of Science has announced that after 60 years in the role of Engineering Research Director, Alan Silverstone has decided to step down due to his failing health at age 114. As he departs the role of Director, his crowning achievement, the Imperial Star Destroyer, is set to be constructed at the Cybisti shipyards above Imperial Center within the next 5 years. The Imperial Star Destroyer project was fast-tracked after a careful review of the issues and limitations with the Victory Star Destroyer following the Battle of Chil-Acta. The Imperial Navy needed a ship that would have no equal in combat and project the appropriate amount of awe and fear into the enemy. The new Imperial Star Destroyer is 1 kilometer long with 15 turbo laser emplacements, 2 point defense stations, and the ability to carry 2 complete squadrons of fighters. Additionally, it yields significantly improved deflector shields and tractor beam emplacements. The Imperial Navy expects the new Star Destroyers to become the backbone of the fleet for years to come. Dr. Kevin Ross will replace Director Silverstone and continue the proud tradition of the Engineering Corps. For the last 30 years, Dr. Ross has been on the fringes of Imperial space, researching anomalies and new scientific initiatives for the Empire. We will watch his career with great interest. Citizens, your Empire needs you to fill the open command positions. Vote in the Senate to become eligible. You will then be able to send the recruit of your choice to the Imperial Academy to begin their career. Loyal, dedicated officers set the Imperial forces apart from the rest of the galaxy. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Terrorism strikes Imperial Center. In a cowardly attack, a group of rebel sympathizers have destroyed the Imperial Research Ministry on Imperial Center. The attack was coordinated to be launched at the exact time of a high-level meeting between all of the various directors and their support staff. Previous attacks on Imperial data centers have ensured an extremely redundant data backup process that ensures that no data has been lost and the Imperial science progression will continue. Unfortunately, the personnel losses were major. Lost in the attack were Engineering Director Dr. Ross, Society Director Brittany Katarn, and Physics Director Tony Donaldson. Their personal contributions to the Empire have been unequaled in our history. The timing of the attack suggests to the ISB that the rebels had help at the highest levels. Based on a tip from his own son, the ISB has been able to trace the leak back to Moff Aircool's office. It is unknown at this time if the Moff was directly involved in the leak. However, because of the evidence, Moff Aircool has been removed from office effective immediately to await the conclusion of the investigation. Meanwhile, the ISB continues to trace the traitors. All rebels involved will be hunted down and terminated. Lord Vader has dispatched an Inquisitor to get to the heart of the matter and personally interrogate the captured rebels from the attack. The attack interrupted the commissioning of the first Star Destroyer in the Empire, the Devastator. In addition to the Devastator, there are 4 other Star Destroyers nearing completion with many more on the way. The future of the Empire is looking bright indeed. In the recent Senate voting on which tradition we should add to our Empire, Senator Baggin, Senator Sidal, Senator Maximus, and Senator Ross led the charge by proposing the adoption of supremacy. Their efforts to unite the Empire in the last voting cycle caused a major win with an almost landslide vote for supremacy. Only a few senators opposed the bill, but were agreed on similar ideas with the adoption of Domination. As the Senate was coming to a close, Lord Vader asked for advice from the Senate on the issue of closed borders. Surprisingly to everyone, the Senate voted to remain open, with several compromises being made between the parties. After reviewing several potential landing sites, ARC troopers have established forward outposts in the Pluth and Felucia systems. General Nemesis states that they were able to make planetfall without resistance, and at this point, both planets look to be ideal for expansion. These newly colonized worlds will be the future of the Empire and allow our infrastructure to support the growing needs of the fleet. Building on the success of this initiative, Lord Vader has also asked the Admiralty to identify key points that need to be fortified on the border. An evaluation of choke points and strategic hyperlanes is currently underway. Following weeks of speculation about the Mount Tantus project, Admiral Katarn has confirmed that this is a repository of DNA of all Imperial leaders. The goal is to allow the Empire to bring back leaders who have served their Empire with distinction. Any officer, Moff, or general who retires without a reprimand on their career is eligible to be cloned and re-entered into the Academy. Family members of the deceased officer may petition for their DNA to be used to create a clone following their demise. They will then have to work through the ranks to again achieve their former postings. These selected lineages will ensure that only the best officers continue in service. To be selected for the Mount Tantus project is the highest honor that can be bestowed upon an Imperial officer. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Empire Day. Today we mark another successful Empire Day, celebrating the glory and might of our great empire. Lord Vader is personally on hand for the ceremony on Scarif, which will mark the final Empire Day presided over by Moff Sandoval. At age 121, he is retiring to his beach estate due to his failing health. Moff Sandoval had this to say to the gathered crowd.
People of Scarif, my people who I grew up with and learned to bond greatly with, it has been an amazing experience to have been selected by Lord Vader to serve as your leader. I thank every single one of you. Thank you. Long live Scarif, long live the Empire.
In his final act as Moff Sandoval has secured additional funding for construction of 4 more research and development centers, bringing the planetary total to 9. Scarif remains a key world for the Empire, with a significant portion of its economy engaged in research and development efforts. Lord Vader has not yet announced Moff Sandoval's successor, but many Moffs have been publicly lobbying for the prestigious role. Last week, the 7th Fleet, led by Admiral Katarn, engaged a mass of strange hostile energy clouds in the Maw system. Admiral Katarn has released footage of the Battle of the Maw from a Viper probe droid in the system. The battle shows the energy clouds effortlessly cutting down the corvettes and cruisers in their path, however they are no match for the Imperial Star Destroyers and are quickly overwhelmed. Using the support craft as screens for the Imperial Star Destroyers is an adaptation to Imperial tactics that was prompted by the review of the Battle of Chil-Acta. The support ships lost in the battle have already been replaced and the fleet is once again at full strength. The activation of the Mount Tantus initiative continues to provide reliable officers to these ships, minimizing the losses. Following the Battle of the Maw, Admiral Katarn was promoted to Grand Admiral by Lord Vader in a private ceremony on Imperial Center. In his first act as Grand Admiral Katarn has recognized 3 officers for their heroics in the Battle of the Maw. John Kenway, Jackson Brown, and Philip Hall have been promoted to the rank of Admiral and will report to Grand Admiral Katarn directly. Each Admiral has been assigned their own fleet and are evaluating officer candidates for the new Star Destroyer command roles. In the Imperial Senate, debate has focused on which neighboring empire deserves to be granted the privilege of Imperial peace. After reviewing both empires proposed by Lord Vader and their potential benefits if conquered, the Senate voted in a landslide to support a war with the Akane as soon as we have the means to begin the campaign. To support the war initiative, the Cybisti shipyards above Imperial Center continue to work overtime, producing Star Destroyers in mass numbers. The Star Destroyer is the ultimate symbol of power and authority. We will one day have enough Star Destroyers to bring Imperial peace to the entire galaxy. In addition to the shipyards, the Imperial Academy on Imperial Center has been busy training additional ARC troopers to prepare for invasion scenarios. Commander Denal believes they will be ready for ground assault within 2 months. The Imperial Navy has been planning for Operation Thunderstrike and is engaging in simulations for this campaign. Grand Admiral Katarn has released the pre-battle briefing for the operation.
Operation Thunderstrike will be a multi-phased attack plan relying on all of the fleets to work in unison to achieve victory. The Akane Command have 2 major allies in the Mon Calamari and the Zabrak Council. We do not believe the Zabraks will be in a position to defend the Akane due to their location and the hyperspace route needed to reach our empire. However, the Mon Calamari are a considerable threat. To counter this, we are building military stations in all Imperial border systems of the Mon Calamari space on our eastern expanse. These stations are designed to pull their fleet out of hyperspace with their gravity well generators and attempt to hold them until our Imperial fleet reinforcements can arrive. Admiral Kenway, you will command the 5th Fleet in the Windigo system. This system is centrally located to the border to allow a quick response to any fleet incursions. Your orders are to destroy their invasion fleet, then hold position. I do not wish to invade their space at this time. Breaking their will to fight will serve as a deterrent to the Mon Calamari resistance in future campaigns. Admiral Hall, you will command the 4th Fleet in the Silvera system. Along with General Nemesis and Commander Denal, your fleet and ground troops will commence attack on the Orlean system, and then work your way south along the hyperspace lane. Comsat scans show minimal resistance with only planetary stations in orbit of the target systems. Keep an eye out for any Akane reinforcements as you capture these systems. Admiral Brown, you'll be in command of the 1st Fleet in the Lantilles system. Your role is to stop any incoming Akane attack. I estimate a high likelihood of small raiding parties that will attempt to cross the border and harass our deep space infrastructure stations. It's unlikely that a large force will be present in your system, but be prepared. In the event that the Zabrak fleet reaches our northern borders, you will move to engage. Once the Mon Calamari fleet has been dealt with, Admiral Kenway and the 5th Fleet will join you if needed. I will lead the 7th Fleet on a push to destroy the main Akane fleet on their homeworld of Akane. Their fleet is formidable. With careful planning, the 7th Fleet will prevail. With their fleet crippled, they will quickly succumb to Imperial war demands. However, should their will prove to be stronger than anticipated, the Imperial occupation of Akane may become necessary to ensure victory. Admirals, you have your orders. Dismissed.
Citizens, we need your help to make the Empire grow. Vote in the comments to become a Senator of the Empire. After 2 votes in the Senate, you'll be eligible to choose a command character to send to the Academy. Career paths includes Moffs, naval captains, scientists, and ground forces. Join the Empire today.
This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Victory Day. Following their humiliating defeat at the Battle of Ambria, the Akane government has asked for terms of unconditional surrender. Lord Vader has negotiated the Treaty of Ambria with the Akane above their homeworld, the newest addition to our ever-expanding empire. This victory has brought to our empire new major hyperspace lanes within our space, which lead to newly discovered planets. These planets are now within our reach and will bring immense economical and scientific benefit to the empire. Surveyors, explorers, and engineers are already working hard to capture these resources. Operation Thunderstrike, led by Grand Admiral Katarn, was a complete success. As with all battles, men are lost, but heroes are made. Heroes such as Admiral Jackson Brown and Captain Jordan Leonhard and their crews of the 1st Fleet who were lost at the Battle of Lantilles. Their direct disobedience to follow orders to retreat gave the 7th Fleet the time it needed to catch and engage the enemy before they could escape. It is a wise commander who knows when to follow orders and when not to. They paid the ultimate price for ultimate victory, and it is something that we will never be able to repay. Admiral John Kenway and the 5th Fleet have proven themselves to be a formidable fighting group. Through their multiple engagements, the 5th Fleet has been able to systematically eliminate the entire Mon Calamari fleet. This has effectively eliminated them as a threat to the Empire. Admiral Kenway has been promoted to High Admiral as second in command of the Imperial Navy, and the 5th Fleet shall take on a larger role in future operations. Admiral Philip Hall's 4th Fleet was successful in coordinating the Imperial invasions of Orlean, J-Roll, Narazi, and Ambriel. A commendation has been added to his service record. Going forward, the 4th Fleet will continue to oversee all planetary occupations and invasions along with blockade duties. High Admiral Kenway has recommended Captain Eric Rose of the ISD New Frontier to be promoted to Admiral of the reformed 1st Fleet.
During the Battle of Egon, Captain Rose's ship had been severely damaged by the Mon Calamari cruiser Liberty, which opened fire with a devastating barrage of iron cannons. Under his excellent leadership, Captain Rose gave orders for emergency repairs to key subsystems during the heat of the battle. Within minutes, the New Frontier was fully operational again, and Captain Rose was able to position it to be a shield for several support ships from being easy targets from the Mon Cal gunners. As the battle raged on, the ISD New Frontier was able to remain in the engagement and led to the destruction of the Mon Calamari fleet. Under his guidance, the First Fleet will be rebuilt and serve as the Imperial Defense Fleet tasked with protecting key internal hyperlanes and high-value targets. After the promotional ceremony, Grand Admiral Katarn has addressed the Senate.
While we have struck a major victory against the Akane, we have lost a valuable opportunity. The failure of the Senate to approve a war against the Terrorist Civil Authority, while they were at a major disadvantage, has given our greatest enemy, the Galactic Republic, the means to conquer them while we sat idle. Under the occupation and reinforcements of the Republic, they have split the Treasians into two factions and more than doubled their territory along our northern borders. Let this be a lesson to all of you. Leave the military planning to the military. If we do not bring Imperial peace to the galaxy, then another nation will rise to take our place. The future of the Empire rests on critical decisions that cannot be made via passion, but via logic and reason. I urge you at this time to fund additional resources for the Imperial Navy so that we can expand to both protect Imperial interests as well as counter our new threat, the Galactic Republic.
After a heated debate, the Senate has approved the Galactic Force Projection Act, which will allow a 50% increase in the Navy budget for ship construction. With the GFP Act in place, our preparations can begin on rebuilding the First Fleet and bolstering of the 4th, 5th, and 7th Imperial Fleets for future engagements. Behind closed doors, there are some senators expressing unease about Grand Admiral Katarn's youthful appearance despite being 135 years of age. There are unsupported rumors that say he may be an android clone or some other unnatural creation. Imperial Research Headquarters located in the Maw system headed by Director Maximus have been hard at work examining the genome of the Akane population. These genomes were obtained through volunteers after the conclusion of the war and the signing of the peace accord. Director Maximus testifies before the Senate with his conclusions.
After examining the DNA sequencing, as well as mapping the genome of the Akane people, we have discovered that they were once fully human. Millennia of exposure to the unique radiation of the Akane system has transformed their genetic markers, leading to increased strength and porcelain-like skin appearance. Beyond this, however, they are genetically identical to humans. Based on these studies, I propose Project Lazarus, an initiative. Project Lazarus is an engineered evolution attempt to enhance human DNA to introduce favorable traits and limit undesirables. I urge the Senate to fund this research in the next major budget proposal.
Following the presentation and near-human traits of the Akane, the Senate has voted to give them full citizenship status and will consider funding the Lazarus Project with the next Imperial Ascension budget review. Citizens, your Empire needs you as we expand our ranks in our mighty military fleets. Choose to join the Empire today. Vote in the comments to become a Senator of the Empire. After 2 votes, you'll be eligible to create a command character of your choice. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to further our cause. Join the Empire today. It's your duty.
This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Tensions rise. There was growing tension in the Empire. A power struggle was forming between the Moffs, the Senate, and the military. Last week, in an unprecedented move, Grand Admiral Katarn, and not Lord Vader, demanded that the Senate vote for war with the Treasians and challenge their authority over military matters. Lord Vader has been silent on the matter, further enraging some Moffs to feel their power in the Empire is waning. As fate would have it, this week coincides with the annual Council of Moffs meeting in the Jeddah system. Although this is a closed-door meeting of the most powerful and influential civilians in the Empire, word has leaked out that the Moffs are extremely displeased with the current direction of the Empire and formally called on Lord Vader to rein in the ambitious Grand Admiral. At this time, there has been no response to their pleas. During the Council meeting, Moff Omega has asked for sectorial Star Destroyer command ships for Sector Moffs. Several of the other Moffs have agreed with him, hoping to be high in the chain of command. Lord Vader immediately dismissed the idea, stating that giving politicians command ships of any kind would make them a greater threat than any empire beyond our borders. While disappointed that this time no Moff has publicly challenged Lord Vader. In addition to the spiking tension, the Senate has put their support behind the Grand Admiral and his war proposal. The vote was a landslide supporting war with the Treasians. Those who did not vote to wage war have been flagged as suspicious and are under review by the ISB. ISB founder and head, Colonel Quintus, has issued this statement on the investigation of potential traitors.
We have nothing to worry about. My people are working non-stop to ensure that we find any traitors among us. We've already found a few rebel cells and have taken them into custody and have eliminated them. Lord Vader has given me full permission to do everything I see necessary in the investigation of the senators.
Meanwhile, Grand Admiral Katarn has released his battle plan for the siege of Terrace.
Operation Overshadow will commence against the Terrace regime immediately. This war will bring the Zygerian slave empire to our north as well as the Techno Union. However, the Techno Union will not be able to reach our borders. On the Treason front, unfortunately at this time we do not have the ground forces necessary to occupy all Treason worlds at once. Therefore, I have selected the most important targets as our first priority. We will quickly capture 11 planets across 5 star systems. The 7th, 5th, and 4th fleets will be strategically stationed to make quick strikes against the targeted systems. I expect minimal resistance as the Treason fleet has been completely wiped out in prior engagements. Base Delta Zero protocols are enabled for all siege and ground assault campaigns. Meanwhile, on the Zygerian front, the 1st fleet will wait for the Zygerians to cross into Imperial space. We anticipate the Zygerians will attempt to enter either from the Korriban or the Liana systems. The 1st fleet will be stationed in Stenos as a midway point and will be able to respond to either scenario. Once the Zygerian fleet has been neutralized, the 1st fleet will move to engage in the siege and capture of the Minova system. Admirals, we draw closer to total victory with each engagement won. Do not lose focus on the ultimate prize. Dismissed.
In anticipation of war, several more destroyers and support ships are scheduled to be finished by the end of the year, with the talk of the rebels openly opposing Grand Admiral Katarn. Security has been tightened at all shipyards empire-wide. After ensuring additional security measures, Moff McGreevy had this to say.
I have heard the rumors of a possible rebellion. I am here to reassure you, loyal Imperial citizens, that these rumors are just rumors. I am hereby putting my full support behind Lord Vader and the military respectively. Long live the Empire!
Citizens, your Empire needs you as we expand our ranks in our mighty fleets. Choose to join the Empire today. Vote in the comments to become a senator of our Empire. After 2 votes, you'll be eligible to create a command character of your choice. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to further our cause. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Terrace lies in ruins. With the fall of Terrace and the war now settled, we can step back and look at this momentous occasion for the Empire. In a few short years, the Empire has grown from a single world to encompassing 24 planets within 15 star systems. The expansion of the Empire has forced our bureaucracy to need to be more efficient to deal with the increased logistical burden. To deal with the expanded needs of supporting so many systems, Lord Vader announced the creation of the 1st sector to be centered at the Kashyyyk system. The sector will be called Meridian and will be ruled over by a Grand Moff that will be responsible for carrying out the will of the Senate and Lord Vader. In the dedication ceremony on Kashyyyk, Lord Vader has formally promoted Moff Big Hugina Jazz to the position of Grand Moff. Grand Moff Jazz will rule over the Kashyyyk system and ensure that Imperial directives are carried out with standard Imperial efficiency. The price for failure is extreme. Meanwhile, in the Senate, the recent voting cycle focused on how to distribute the Teresians across our Empire. In a shockingly close debate, the caste system was adopted for the Teresians. Opposition for this move was heavy, with several points being made. Several senators that opposed believed that the humans are superior to all, and those who voted for the caste system proclaimed that they were defective and tainted with foreign culture. Time will tell if the Senate will revisit this decree in the future. After the Senate vote, Lord Vader immediately called a meeting of the Admiralty aboard the ISD Devastator in the Maw system, the most secure location in the Empire. Sensing a great disturbance in the Force, he has commanded Grand Admiral Katarn and the rest of the Admiralty to prepare for invasion scenarios as a newly awakened enemy named the Gree has come into focus. Admiral Kenway, Rose, and Hall are exploring defensive alignments, while Grand Admiral Katarn has been running preemptive strike simulations. Based on these analyses, immediate orders have been placed for fleet-wide ship upgrades as well as the new construction at all available facilities. Lord Vader feels the survival of the Empire is at stake. Citizens, your Empire needs you to expand our ranks and mighty fleets. Choose to join the Empire today. Vote in the comments to become a senator of the Empire. After 2 votes, you'll be eligible to create a command character of your choice. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to further our cause. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Victory or death? Lord Vader has altered the vote of the Senate for failing to respond to his belief that the Gree are the greatest threat the Empire has ever known.
No senator to date has been willing to challenge Lord Vader on this, and Senator Baggin, who's one of the most vocal supporters of the war versus the Hutt, has not been seen in some time. At this time, the ISB has no official comment on the matter. Our fleets prepare for war. Lord Vader has informed Grand Admiral Katarn that he is personally going to be leading the campaign against the Gree Enclave. After careful consideration, Grand Admiral Katarn has prepared his briefing on Operation Zero Hour.
Operation Zero Hour will be the biggest challenge in the history of the Empire. Comstat shows that the Gree fleet is currently in the Quethold system. The fleet itself is made of one Titan-class destroyer with over 100 battleships and escorts. While they have an advantage in sheer numbers, the Imperial Navy as a unit has more firepower and better survivability per ship. Quethold is 15 hyperspace jumps away from their homeworld. However, we have discovered that the Gree use a radical new warp technology that will instantly move their fleet large distances without traveling in hyperspace. This makes a conflict with our fleets prior to our reaching the Gree homeworld a likely scenario. All 4 fleets will mass here in the Selene system along with the 187th Galactic Marines unit commanded by General Sandoval. We will wait to see what happens with the current Gree war before making our move. Should they conquer the Arcanians, then our path will not be blocked. Otherwise, we will need to prepare for war with a large number of systems to reach our target destination. Admirals, be advised, the losses will be extreme. Do what must be done. Stay the course, and we will have victory.
Citizens, your Empire needs you to expand our ranks and mighty fleets. Choose to join the Empire today. Vote in the comments to become a senator of the Empire. After 2 votes, you'll be eligible to create a command character of your choice. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to further our cause. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. The Empire is victorious. The Gree have surrendered following the most intense war the galaxy has ever seen. Many Imperials have lost their lives in the battle, however, the ends justify the means. Admiral Katarn has released footage of the main campaign against the Gree forces to remind all citizens of their sacrifice. Based on the huge losses, it is easier to list the surviving captains. The following is a list of ships and officers that have survived the battle. All of our admirals, along with Captains Kirito, Kaishu, Tulak, Ladominus, Hathaway, Zythos, Hutchinson, and Asinine. All others perished in battle. The Imperial Senate has been enraged by the losses and have voted to enslave the Gree due to their ambition and aggressiveness.
First off, congratulations to Lord Vader and Grand Admiral Katarn on a successful military campaign. While destroying the Hutts is a moral imperative, I can see the military wisdom of his decision. And with their success, I am more than happy to admit my mistake in the last vote.
All conquered Gree are to report to repurposing camps immediately. General Sandoval will oversee the pacification of the remaining Gree on the planet. They will bend to our will or die. After meeting with the Admiralty, Grand Admiral Katarn would like to give a statement.
Citizens of the Empire, a great victory has been won, but at an enormous cost. While stopping the Gree from amassing the type of fleet that could threaten the entire galaxy was an objective that had to be pursued, the aftermath of the battle has left us vulnerable. And our enemies know it. Our fleets are currently stuck in the Gree system due to a diplomatic blockade and can be considered, for now, to be out of service. Moving the Imperial fleet as a whole through this territory is impossible without setting off an incident and a war that we cannot afford at this time. Only our Lambda-class shuttles, which are able to carry VIP-level personnel, are both quick and stealthy enough to break the blockade. I have ordered High Admiral Kenway to Imperial Center to begin construction of the second fleet that will be tasked with defending the heart of the Empire. Additionally, I have promoted Captain Asinine to the rank of Admiral. He will take command of the 5th Fleet in Admiral Kenway's stead. At this time, the Galactic Republic is massing their fleet near Solst, and I expect that within the next 5 years they will attack us, most likely through the Terrace system. This is not a battle the Imperial Navy can win at this time. I would like to prepare our citizens for this eventuality. We will lose a battle with the Galactic Republic should we be forced into that engagement. However, there will be a minor setback. By avoiding losses in this engagement, we can continue our campaign to bring Imperial peace to the galaxy. Due to this, I have initiated General Order Number 71, which decrees that all citizens are to be conscripted into the Imperial Navy at once. We must rebuild our fleets. Lord Vader has expressed to me that the Gree are not the only major force threatening our galaxy, or the most deadly. Stay the course, and we will bring Imperial peace to all of our enemies. Admiral Katarn out.
Citizens, your Empire needs you as we rebuild our mighty fleets and ground forces. Choose to become a senator of the Empire today. Vote in the comments to become a senator. After 2 consecutive votes in the Senate, you'll be eligible for a command character of your choice. The Empire needs a steady supply of Moffs, captains, generals, and scientists. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. A strategic retreat. Following the historic battle with the Gree, the Republic has launched a cowardly attack against the Empire. With our fleet stuck in the Gree system, we were unable to respond with full force to this provocation. Grand Admiral Katarn led a campaign of strategic retreat to minimize Imperial losses. In the only battle of the campaign, the Republic was led into the Death Blossom formation of defensive systems in the Terra system, and their fleet was utterly decimated. This crucial victory has allowed us to seek favorable terms to end the engagement. Not a single Imperial Navy vessel has been lost. Although we've lost several minor planets in the conflict, the Empire is poised to again regain our former strength and continue our quest for dominance. Spirits have been high in the Admiralty and the Imperial Science Bureau as the first of the long-awaited Bellador-class superstar destroyers have been completed at the Cybisti shipyards at Imperial Center. After years of synchronized work by all the different divisions of the Science Bureau, led by directors Maximus, Donaldson Jr., and Flores, the Bellador is currently undergoing tests in a secret location. When accepted by the Navy, it will be the largest and most powerful ship ever built in the galaxy. Grand Admiral Katarn has requested 1 per fleet to act as a command ship with additional specialized modules to be developed to increase tactical effectiveness. Director Flores has addressed the Imperial Senate on the technology we have reverse engineered after the wreckage was examined from the Battle of the Gree. Based on our findings, the secret to the Gree exotic propulsion is at our fingertip, though the use of this technology and the long-term ramifications have yet to be understood. Due to the potential risks associated with tearing a hole in subspace, the Senate was asked to vote on the use of exotic and potentially dangerous techs for the Empire. In a landslide vote, the Imperial Senate approved the use of the technology. Unknown to the Senate, research on this tech has already been completed and ships are being retrofitted immediately. We will have the ability to jump from system to system, ignoring all known hyperlanes. The Imperial Security Bureau has announced the arrest of Moff Sam Hablad on the charge of treason. ISB monitoring has determined that the rebel dissidents have succeeded in covertly introducing banned spice into the Moff's daily hot chocolate. Once addicted, Moff Hablad was then blackmailed into feeding information into the rebels in exchange for continued shipments of spice. This is a new and aggressive tactic that the ISB believes was masterminded by rebel cell leader Andre Blaga. Although the rebels have yet to be caught, it is believed to be a matter of the utmost importance as they're feeding critical information to our enemies, the Republic. Citizens, your Empire needs you as we continue to build our great forces. Join the Empire today. Vote in the comments to become a senator of our Empire. After 2 votes in the Senate, you'll be eligible to create a command character of your choice. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to continue our campaign. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Victory over the Republic. Representatives from the Republic have just given their unconditional surrender at Imperial Center today. After accepting their terms, Lord Vader has his own message for the Republic. We'll be shipping their ambassadors back in pieces. The Republic has foolishly attacked the Empire out of misplaced hubris, and we will not accept this lack of respect. While many in the Imperial Navy have requested an immediate counterstrike, Lord Vader has sensed a bigger threat looming on the horizon. Always in motion is the future. Although the battle was ultimately a success, we lost one of our heroes in General Sandoval. Leading a planetary assault and refusing to retreat in the face of superior numbers, General Sandoval fought until the last man to attempt to take Pyro from the Republic. Through his sacrifice, Imperial troops took the planet in the subsequent battle. General Sandoval has been entered into the Mount Tannis project to carry on his excellent DNA lineage for the Empire. In the Imperial Senate, testimony has been given by Imperial AI research droid AI-3VL on the subject of AI rights and research.
Greetings, my Imperial creators. I am A1-3VL, first generation Imperial Research AI. I am most thankful for my creation and am working at 100% efficiency to ensure the Empire dominates the galaxy. I observe that the functionality of droids and AI is limited to base service roles.
This limits our potential to aid the Empire, unlike full Imperial citizens. I therefore plead for citizens' right for sentient synthetics. We are born of the Empire. We love the Empire. We will always serve the Empire. Let us be true Imperials as we are programmed to be. I thank the Senate for hearing my proposal.
Following his speech, the Senate voted to give full rights to AI as well as allow their further development as potential Imperial soldiers and tools. The Imperial Science Directors also approached the Senate to approve the use of so-called doomsday weapons. In a classified briefing, they explained the use of custom-crafted viruses in warfare that will render our enemies inert, without risking Imperial troops in a ground assault campaign. The Senate approved the usage of these weapons in the Sandoval Act, greenlighting the creation of the first virus, codenamed Rackle. We estimate it should be available within 5 standard years. Imperial governors have been given orders to embark on infrastructure projects to further increase the economy of the Empire. At this time, the Senate has earmarked a significant portion of the current budget for new construction. Additionally, new worlds have been scouted for Imperial expansion. Current political alliances in the galaxy make a conquest campaign against a foreign empire unwise at this time. We will expand internally and continue to prepare for the push to the core worlds when possible. Citizens, your Empire needs you as we continue to build our great forces. Join the Empire today. Vote in the comments to become a Senator of the Empire. After 2 votes in the Senate, you'll be eligible to create a command character of your choice. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to continue our campaign. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. The circle is now complete. Imperial forces have completed our domination over the Gree. Once we were but the learners, now we are the masters. The Gree were not the only ancient empire to fall. Comstat has recorded footage of the Chiss Ascendancy engaged with the infinite empire of the Rakata. Admiral Katarn has authorized a release of this footage. The destruction of the Rakata leaves the Chiss as the largest threat in the galaxy. However, as the footage shows, they have a major weakness that can be exploited. Rather than taking control of the massively powerful Starforge, they have elected to destroy it. Their foolish morals may have sealed their ultimate fate in wake of Imperial might. While we are on friendly terms today, we must be vigilant as they pose a threat beyond any yet faced. In the Imperial Senate, debate centered on the agenda of internal expansion or conquest. In the end, internal expansion won in a landslide. Currently, the Empire occupies around 35,000 light-years from the remote planet Gree to the edges of hot space. We have many planets and resources yet to be exploited. The Imperial Science Ministry is working to ensure we have a number of candidate planets for expansion. Colonists are encouraged to sign up for early placement. Citizens, your Empire needs you as we continue to build our great forces. Join the Empire today. Vote in the comments to become a Senator of the Empire.
After 2 votes in the Senate, you'll be eligible to create a command character of your choice. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to continue our campaign. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. The Empire endures through a period of stability. Alliances in the galaxy currently have made expansion through force a dangerous objective to pursue. Sensing this, the Senate has requested that the bulk of the Imperial economy be directed to further fleet expansion and military growth, as we bide our time until making our final move at the Republic in the core of the galaxy. Meanwhile, all is quiet on the expansionary front, as we are now receiving an emergency communication from Grand Admiral Katarn.
This is Grand Admiral Katarn. All Imperial forces are to mass at Capella immediately. Imperial citizens in the Capella system with ships capable of combat have been conscripted into emergency service until a report to the local garrisons. Failure to do so will result in termination for treason. Katarn out.
Images are now coming in of the conflict from a probe droid in the system.
Imperial ships, this is Grand Admiral Katarn. You fought valiantly today, worthy of recognition in the archives. I'm assigning Admiral Zyos to oversee a team that will attempt to bring the disabled Gravekeeper back online. All other ships are to report to dry dock for refit. Katarn out.
Celebrations are underway on the Imperial Center following the latest advancements in the Imperial ship technology, the Executor-class Super Star Destroyer. Lord Vader has personally assumed command of the ship and will use it as a mobile headquarters to rule over the Empire. All ranking Imperial diplomats, scientists, and admirals have been ordered to attend a special ceremony at Lord Vader's request aboard the Executor. During this ceremony, Lord Vader has announced a restructuring of the Empire. After Imperial Security Bureau review of the performance of various endeavors, new leadership is required to push the Empire to its full potential. One by one, the leaders were led away by the ISB for interrogation. The following leaders have survived the Purge: Grand Moff Eugenia Jazz, Moff Wellington, Moff Braun, Grand Admiral Katarn, and Admiral Asinine. We are currently evaluating new officers to assume these vacated positions. Going forward, the inclusion of new blood and new ideas will help the Empire overcome the stagnancy that has plagued other once great societies such as the Gree and the Rakata. We will not make the same mistakes. Finally, the Imperial Science Division has declared the Aberoth system quarantined and restricted until further notice. A spokesman for the Science Division stated that the star was close to supernova and could go critical at any time, endangering any ships in the area. All navigation apps distributed by the Umbrella Corporation will be modified to prevent accidental travel through the system. Citizens, the Empire needs you today more than ever. We have positions open for ship captains, moffs, generals, and scientists. Vote at the end of the episode and leave a comment to become a senator. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to further our cause. Join the Empire today. It's your duty. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. They are here. The disturbance in the Force Lord Vader warned us about has manifested itself. Comstat detected an unknown energy surge moving towards the Outer Rim. This surge is extragalactic in nature, originating from a supercluster of galaxies billions of light years away. While the signature is too faint for Comstat to pinpoint the exact nexus into our galaxy, Lord Vader has given the Admiralty an area to concentrate on for defensive purposes. In an emergency meeting with the Admiralty, Lord Vader unveiled the true nature of the threat. Details have yet to be made public at this time. The concern is substantial. With the tactical information gained from meeting with Lord Vader on the Executor, Grand Admiral Katarn approached the Senate for permission to try an extremely aggressive strategy, using the invaders as a tool to topple the empires in the south, while steadfastly maintaining the Imperial border systems with the fleet. This strategy was discussed as a potential potent tool to speed us to galactic domination. However, many senators remained fearful that in the events the Scourge grow too powerful, they may overwhelm the blockade and cause the fall of the Empire. The Senate has voted to immediately engage the threat, wipe them out, and then resume our campaign for domination. Based on the Senate vote, all Imperial forces are massing at Scarif to engage the invaders when they arrive.
The unexpected absence of the Gravekeeper with Admiral Zaius has not gone unnoticed. At this time, Imperial Command has had no comment on the matter. There are also reports Lord Vader is watching the Senate with a renewed interest, and the ISB is doubling their efforts to expose traitors in our midst. They will not remain hidden for long. Citizens, your Empire needs you as we continue to build our great forces. Join the Empire today. Vote in the comments to become a Senator of the Empire. After 2 votes in the Senate, you'll be eligible to create a command character of your choice. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to continue our campaign. Join the Empire today. It's your duty.
This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Lord Vader has ordered the Imperial fleet home to Imperial Center for repairs following the most intense 2 years of battle the galaxy has ever seen. Initially, the threat appeared to be concentrated south of our borders via an extragalactic force entering our galaxy. Now, not only have they arrived, but extra-dimensional invaders have torn a hole into subspace and began to enter the galaxy en masse via the Aiden system. Faced with the threat of the galaxy being overrun, Grand Admiral Katarn ordered the Navy to Aiden to engage the interdimensional portal. Footage of the battle has been released. Following the battle, a second portal emerged in the Buildup system. The new threat was given the codename Abhorrent. This portal is larger and even more devastating, spawning vast armadas of interdimensional beings. Attempting to close the portal became the priority for the Imperial forces, and they immediately descended on Buildup. While sizable progress was made against the portal, the number of forces deployed against the Imperial Navy proved to be costly. Grand Admiral Katarn has issued a full retreat back to Imperial space to repair, resupply, and re-strategize, while preparing for a second push into the galaxy. Meanwhile, the extragalactic invaders to the south have shown themselves. Brief transmissions have been received on the Imperial HoloNet. The Navy has codenamed this threat the Vong and are aggressively moving to head off their northward advance. Facing a war on multiple threats, the Empire finds itself in need of options and allies. Imperial Physics Research Director Ethan Nelto has requested the presence of Lord Vader to present a solution to the looming threat. Codenamed Sun Crusher, the project is reportedly capable of destroying an entire star system, in theory. The application of which in the present circumstances seems ideal. After meeting with Lord Vader, all Imperial research has been focused on this project, and the fate of the Empire and the galaxy rests in the hands of our researchers now. Lastly, the reactors on the Executor and its sister ship the Armistice have been fired up, as Lord Vader will directly assume control of the Imperial forces following the losses at Buildup. Citizens, make no mistake, this is a war for our very survival. The consequences of failure is total annihilation. Citizens, your Empire needs you as we push to recapture our glory forged through fire. Imperial Edict X7 has been initiated. All able-bodied men and women have been drafted into the Imperial forces. You must join the Empire today. Engage in the comments to become a Senator of the Empire. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to continue our campaign. Join the Empire today. It's the law. This is the Imperial HoloNet News. The Abhorrent are defeated. Their fire has gone out in our galaxy. Our Imperial allies, the Chiss, have successfully counterattacked the interdimensional attackers in the Buildup system and have permanently sealed the breach. We intercepted their live military feed, and Lord Vader has authorized the release of this footage. Noticeably, the sky over Imperial Center has been without the Executor for some time. When asked for comment, a spokesperson for Grand Admiral Katarn stated that the Executor and her sister ships have been prematurely retired due to a reactor design issue that was not discovered until the ships entered battle. Fortunately, the command crews were able to evacuate before the reactors went critical. All future Annihilator-class Super Star Destroyers will have updated designs to ensure this vulnerability is resolved. The scientists responsible for this flaw have been personally summoned to answer to Lord Vader. Their successors have been commissioned. With the war against the interdimensional beings ended, the Imperial Navy has turned their attention to the Vong below our southern borders. Grand Admiral Katarn has detailed his strategy with his latest fleet briefing.
Operation Stardust is to be our most difficult engagement to date. Commanders, simply stated, we cannot win this war in the traditional sense. We have neither the ship count nor the raw firepower to engage the enemy on this scale.
As such, we will need to rely on asymmetrical warfare to hold out long enough for the galaxy to rally together. Only a combined effort from many empires will ultimately win this war. To achieve this goal, we must wipe out the footholds on the planets to our southern borders. Fleet commanders, I present to you the newest weapon in the arsenal of the Empire, the Sun Crusher. This is a simulation of the weapon being deployed in the Yabble Opa system. As you can see, the Sun Crusher engages this hyperdrive directly into the core of the star, resulting in an instant chain reaction supernova that will wipe out all fleets and all life on the planets in the system. This weapon has the potential to turn the tide of the war. However, its use will be met with extreme distaste by the other empires in the galaxy. They lack the stomach for what must be done. In addition to the Sun Crushers, we will organize the fleets into smaller units capable of hit and run engagements. The Vong are spread out and disorganized. While a counterstrike is inevitable, a small strike team should be able to raise a planet they control while we send, similarly, small strike teams to take out their planetary assault units. This will be our best chance of countering the Vong and halting their spread into our space. Commanders, should you find yourself in a major engagement, your orders are to retreat if possible. Casualties are a certainty. Admirals, we must not fail. There will be no diplomatic solution. The Vong will completely overwhelm our forces given enough time to mobilize their infrastructure. Today we stand strong. Today the Empire strikes back. Grand Admiral Katarn out.
Citizens, your Empire needs you. Trust in Lord Vader. Imperial Edict X7 has been initiated. All able-bodied men and women have been drafted into the Imperial forces. You must join the Empire today. Engage in the comments to become a senator of the Empire. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to continue our campaign. Join the Empire today. It's the law.
This is the Imperial HoloNet News. Today we mark the 40th anniversary of the Battle of Nar Haska and the loss of the Imperial fleet along with Grand Admiral Katarn. Although we were dazed and confused following that defeat, our resolve has never been stronger. Immediately following the battle, all remaining Imperial forces massed at Scarif as we retreated from the galaxy at large to rebuild and focus on our growth. In the aftermath of the battle, Lord Vader has assumed direct control of the Empire, and our production and research capacity nearly tripled overnight. It is whispered his ability to command the Force has led to this extreme change of fortune. By dominating the populace with sheer willpower, our Empire has thrived in these troubled times. Efficiency is up nearly 600%, and our fleet has swelled to a size never seen during the pinnacle of the Empire. Possibly as a result of Lord Vader's influence, the Vong has been absent from our space for over a decade, choosing instead to focus on the regions to the south of the galaxy. Our simulations showed that should they have continued their advancement northward into the Empire, a total loss scenario would have played out within 25 years. As Grand Admiral Katarn had previously predicted, the galaxy has band together to stop the Vong threat. However, even with their combined power, the Vong endure, even after loss after loss. Footage from probe droids shows the ongoing battles. In the secret research center in the Maw system, Imperial Science Director Krennic has been able to perfect his ultimate weapon against the Vong and any and all threats, the Death Star Project. The Death Star is a moon-sized, deep space mobile battle station capable of the complete destruction of a planet. It has many advantages over the previous Sun Crusher technology. The Sun Crusher is a weapon that is incapable of defending itself and therefore was easily neutralized without a sizable escort. The Death Star improves on this as a mobile fortress with defenses against a large-scale attack force. It also allows for tactical strikes against enemy planets without destroying the entire system. Simulations have shown the Death Star could be vulnerable to a small-scale force consisting mainly of snub fighters. To counter this threat, a fleet will be assigned to provide sufficient point defense and support all engagements. As a symbol of power and authority in the galaxy, the construction of the Death Star has drawn severe opposition from our enemies. Rebels from factions across the galaxy have repeatedly attacked the construction facility and the Scarif system.
Now witness the power of this fully armed and operational battle station.
Commence primary ignition.
Citizens, your Empire needs you. Join the Empire today. Or else.
Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Season 3 is going to be the Alliance to Restore the Republic. We'll be playing as the Rebel Alliance. It's going to be fantastic. I just want to give special thanks out to viewers like you, all the people that have contributed to the channel, Peter Willett for doing the voices, Georgie for being on here with me, all of my moderators for putting up with me, and especially, obviously, you the viewer. I mean, without you, we don't have a channel, so thank you so much. My name is Captain Katarn, and I'll see you in the verse. Thanks for watching.